Good morning. My name is Kelly Delgado. I am one of the high school counselors here at ADM High School, along with Mrs. Jennifer Rabel. Between the two of us, we are responsible for um, grades 9 through 12. I'm responsible for the first half of the alphabet, which would be A through L, and she is in charge of letters M through Z. Uh, like to take this opportunity this morning to answer some of the questions that, or hopefully answer the best I can, some questions that you guys brought forth, all of which I thought were excellent questions. I hope to give you some insight that can help answer those, but I also want to make sure you know all of your resource availabilities, especially including our teacher leaders. They're going to be excellent resources for you as well, and probably could do a better job in answering some of these questions than even myself. So just want to give them a big shout out and let you know that they are a great resource for you. And hopefully I can help answer some of the questions. So I'm just going to kind of go through the ones that were asked of me real quick, and then we'll go from there. The first question was, what are some resources for students who do not have an organized system for recording assignments? To be honest with you, every single high school student is given a Chromebook, and in that Chromebook is Google Calendar. And I found that one of the best ways for myself, and I have also encouraged lots of students to utilize that Google Calendar, put in assignments, go through their Google Classroom, and just kind of connect those two. The nice thing about that is those Google Calendars can sync to most phones, and then every single student pretty much has a phone. Another option would be if, and I think this can kind of help answer another question down the road. With some of the students that I've worked with, we have created like an actual Word document, but it's called a work plan, where basically the student, once they get an assignment, can put that in, the due date, what plans they have in place to get that assignment done, and then a little area at the end when it's completed. Usually this is something that they, if they want my help to create, I would be more than happy to do that. Same with Mrs. Rabel. But I would also encourage them to share that with their teachers. And then if they're working with Mrs. Reed in the academic success room, she's another person that can kind of help monitor this. The goal would be to help the student become responsible, putting their assignments in, creating a plan of completion, and following through with that, and then actually check marking off things as they get done and adding new things as they are given to them by their teacher. So just a couple of quick things: Google Calendar, and then obviously if they're needing that extra help, we can create them a work plan through Google Docs that they're able to share and edit and all those things. So hopefully that kind of gives you a couple little simple things to talk with students about if they have those questions. Second question, is there a place during the day for teachers to go who need a mask break if we do not have a planning hour? That's a tough one. Normally it's not usually a problem, but unfortunately with the things that we're going through right now, it's something that we have to address. I would think as long as there's less than 4 people in the teacher's lounge, that might be a quick little area to get away, check your mail, take your mask off, things like that. I know we're not allowed to have 4. Same thing would be with our large conference room if you just need to step away for a minute or two in between class periods and just to remove your mask. As long as there's nobody in the conference room, I would think that would be a good place where you could go to step in, take your mask off, take in some deep breaths. You're also always welcome to come into one of our offices. I'm sure as long as we don't have a student, I'd be more than happy to step out and let you use my office as a place where you can just take your mask off, take a deep breath, and go from there. Okay, next question. These are a little more on the mental health side of things. At what point should I refer a student to the counseling center? I'll answer that in a couple of different ways. One, if at any moment you think it's a question that you have a question about, if you're not sure how to answer it, if you're not sure how to help that student, that would be a great indicator for you to refer them to us, and we can take it from there. Small little, you have to know your comfort zone, and I would assume as your teaching career goes on, there's going to be a lot more that you're going to be able to handle in the classroom. Know that if it's something that we feel we can address with them right away and get them back to your classroom, that's always our goal. But please always feel like you can refer a student to us if you're needing that little extra help. I've always said, you guys are there to teach, to build relationships, but you also have a lot of students that you're responsible for in your room. And so if there's a student that is needing a little bit extra help, I think the best thing you can do would be to allow them to come talk to us, or an administrator or somebody, so that we can help them with that problem and then get them back into your classroom as soon as possible. So, when you feel like it's a situation that you're maybe a little uncomfortable with, that'd be a great time to refer. But trust yourself. You're a teacher. You're doing this for a reason, to build those relationships with kids. But at any point where you're not sure, that would be a great time to ask. Um, is there a list of services posted on the school website for students? Yes, there is. The Counseling Center has our own website or web page within the ADM school website, where we have a long list of resources for students, ideas, that both deal with both mental health and even just straight academic questions, along with general questions about colleges, requirements, those kinds of things. So please encourage your students to use our Counseling Center webpage for a lot of those questions. But yes, we do have a list of services and things that are available to students. What services do you offer to first and second year teachers? Good set of ears. Always feel like you guys can come in and talk through things, questions, concerns, how to handle things. Again, I will also say our teacher leaders are an excellent resource for you, as far as who might do what, or what. Sorry, I'm kind of mumbling there, but just any kind of question, always feel like you have a support network, whether it be through our counseling department or through the teacher leaders, or even just other teachers within your own department. Everyone is here to try and help new teachers and old teachers be as successful as possible. And then obviously you have your other things through your teacher leaders and your mentors that will help as far as services go. But as far as the counseling department, always know that you can email, stop in, whatever you need. We're more than happy to help you if it's concerning a student or even your own mental health concerns or things like that. We aren't just limited to students. We all know that, especially in these times right now, it can be very tough. So please know that we're here for you guys just as much as we are for students. So what resources are available for students or colleagues struggling with mental health issues? One of the greatest things that we've worked towards that is actually in place this year is we have an agreement with LifeWorks, which is a mental health counseling organization, and they actually have a counselor that comes into our building on Tuesdays, then work with students that either you have referred or that we have referred, and they've gotten through that process. They also have done some telehealth with students, so it's a great resource for us here at ADM to have that connection with a mental health agency, to hopefully give those students in need the help that they want. We also offer individual and group counseling situations through Mrs. Rabel and I, and oftentimes we'll use Power Hour to offer topics that can kind of deal with the mental health, social aspect types of things. So be the lookout for Power Hour topics and things like that that can be another resource for students. But yeah, as far as mental health, we do have that LifeWorks program. What is the best way to help a student struggling with schoolwork who is dealing with mental health concerns? Actually, before I get to the question, I apologize. I have one other piece to that previous question. We actually do have counseling available to teachers through our insurance package. I think it's 5 sessions. If you're curious about that or want more information, please give me an email and I can send you the pamphlet that was given to us through our district office. So I don't have it right in front of me, but I do know that is something that is also available to teachers um, if you feel like that's something that you need on a more professional level. And I encourage you to do that as well. Um, you know, we all need support, and so what that looks like and how that shapes up to be is what's best for you. So I just wanted to throw that part in there. As far as the struggling student with schoolwork, I think building that relationships, understanding that students need to be held accountable, treated fairly. I mean, all of these things you already know. Um, but an amount of patience I think is crucial, and then also making sure that you're offering that support or providing support, whether it be through a referral process or talking to us. But I would not say to lessen work necessarily right off the bat, but make sure that you're understanding. I in a presentation I did last year, we talked a little bit about creating just a very warm and safe environment for all students um, is going to be a key piece, especially when we start talking about mental health for students. Rather than trying to isolate and figure out which ones are dealing with mental health, if you can create an overall warm and welcoming environment in your class where a teacher or a student can feel safe and feel heard and feel like they have a place, then you are doing far more than you might realize. And to be honest with you, that's going to be the best option, is to, rather than try and figure out who might be dealing with some mental health situations, is to create a room, a classroom that whether a student is or isn't, they're feeling those same kinds of um, welcoming and things like that. Last question. How can teachers create class environments that encourage struggling students to participate? Again, I think that falls right into that previous question of, setting rules right away, being consistent, establishing rapport with your students, building connections at a comfort level that you are okay with, um, and making sure you have clear and present boundaries in that regard. But creating an organized classroom, creating a room where students feel like they can learn but also feel safe and be themselves, is a big piece to, one, becoming a great teacher, but also in helping meeting those needs of students that might be struggling with mental health. But overall, every student is going to be more successful if they're in a classroom where they feel like they're learning, they feel like they can participate, and feel like um, they are respected and valued. And so I know that's tough, and I know that's something that we all learn, and we will always need to improve on, myself included. But it can't be stressed enough. So hopefully those help answer some of your questions. Uh, Always know that there's probably more of the answers than what I gave you, but you're always welcome to stop into our offices, and we'll do our best to answer questions for you, help you with students. We're all in this together. I hate that little corny slogan, but it's a good song though. Just kidding. Anyway, good luck. Have a great year. Again, we're here for you as well. Let me know what I can do, or Mrs. Rabel, and excited to have you a part of our Tiger team. Once a Tiger, always a Tiger. Have a good one.